Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of On the Road Again with Shaggy. Post-election day. It is Wednesday. I am never quite sure what to tell people the day after election day, other than maybe calm the F down. Because either your candidate won and you're happy as hell and you're rubbing it in the nose of somebody else, or your candidate lost and you're, saying that how bad their candidate's going to do. But regardless, you're not happy. I was reading something today about that this midterm election was actually the best turnout for midterm election in like the last 100 years almost. And so, if anything, we have to be proud of that more people were motivated and encouraged to get out there and exercise their patriotic right than ever before. Regardless of which way the chips fell in your direction or against, people were motivated to make a stand on their principles. Now, with that said, let me be 100% clear that if you voted for your party, I don't care which the party is blindly, meaning you voted for your party because they're your party, not because of that person. So if you voted for your Republican senator because of Trump, or you voted for your Democratic senator because of Pelosi, or whatever, if you voted for somebody because of somebody else, you are part of the problem. All right. That is celebrity voting. I don't care what you want to call it. Okay. That's celebrity voting. You're voting because of some other instance, some other factor that makes no difference to how the person that is representing you is actually going to do their job. All right. Here's my problem with politics as it sits today. And we don't get political on PTR radio, which is why I get a little political here, because politicians are supposed to represent us, the people. Okay. But when you're making decisions based on that Trump came to your town and told you to vote for so-and-so, okay, or that Bernie Sanders came to your town and told you to vote for so-and-so, then you're not making a decision based upon what so-and-so stands for, or if so-and-so is best for your community. You're taking somebody else's word. You should be an informed voter making your own decisions. And you can say, well, I don't have the time. Well, make the time. It's important. The people that lead the country are us. We make the decisions based with our votes, with our calls to action, with our voices. That's what we do. That's how this is supposed to be. In a perfect world, there would be no parties. We would just vote for the person that is going to do the best job to represent us. All right. I would love to see Democrat and Republican parties abolished completely. All right. I would love to see a spending cap on all elections. I would love to see term limits, reasonable term limits. All right. On every position. I would love to see all those things. I never will, because it's such a corrupt system. It's a system designed and orchestrated for big business, okay? To keep us thinking that we have a voice, but we really don't, all right? And until we counter that with intelligence and thoughtfulness and real choices and real feedback and real change, it'll always be that way, okay? So, like I said, regardless, when we're voting for the lesser of two evils, we're not voting for what's right, okay? Two parties is stupid. It's the dumbest thing ever, all right? It's just ridiculous. When you go into a store, do you have choice between just two shirts or two pairs of pants and that's it? This world isn't black and white, We should be more than red or blue. We're all shapes, all sizes, all colors, all creeds, all religions, okay? Why are we represented by two parties? That's dumb, okay? Why do we only have these two choices? It's because not enough people are voting or are thinking or are taking the initiative to make there be more. There should be more, all right? Now, we all know that when Bernie Sanders ran, he really wasn't a Democrat, okay? He was an independent in Democrats' clothing, which is why they didn't want him to be president, okay? What was so wrong with being an independent? Because he wouldn't have gotten elected. Why wouldn't he got elected? Because we tell each other that no independent can ever be elected. I don't know how many posts I saw that say, if you voted third party, you threw your vote away. Why? Why do we have that opinion? Why are we restricted to just two parties? Either do away with them entirely or give us a real choice. There are many other countries out there that do different ways of voting. All right. Research it. Look up what's best. Okay. I'm not saying be anti-government. I'm not saying be, be whatever you want to call it, treasonous. I'm not saying any of those things, but work for change. Work for the things that need fixing. All right. I tell just about everybody, listen, fiscally, I'm conservative. All right. But, socially, I'm progressive. All right. I don't want government to have a say in what happens in my bedroom. I don't think government should have a say in what happens in people's bedrooms. All right. But what happens with tax money, government should have a say so in, and we should have a say so in how much taxes we're being charged. That's just the way that it should be. And I gotta believe that there are more people that believe that way than any other way, strict red or blue. I gotta believe somewhere deep down there's more people that believe that there are more of the in-betweeners and the in-the-middles than there are the left and the right. And one of these glorious days, there's going to be a candidate that comes and says, listen, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm one of you. I want you to support me because I don't care what they say. I'm here for you. I work for you, the people. And there are certain things we can all agree on. Okay. Money should be spent wisely with accountability. Elderly should be taken care of. Veterans should be taken care of. All right. If people need a hand, with a situation, they should be given it, but there should be limits. Okay. We can't foster a culture of freebies and giveaways and handouts. Should foster one of growth and of self-reliance, but with compassion, because the world is hard. It's harsh. It's against you all the time. All right. As Dennis Leary said, world's tough, get a helmet. All right. But that doesn't mean that we can't have a little compassion towards each other. It doesn't mean that compassion has to go to extremes. Okay. Limits. Common sense things. We should all be able to agree in common sense things. So one of these days, there's going to be somebody out there that truly unites, that reaches across, and people say, you know what? Party's not important. People are important. People over party. So that's my small glimpse into my dream world for the United States. And for you, those of you that are in other countries that listen, tell me what you think. How screwed up do you think we are? Are we the jokesters and the puppets and the laughs that you take us for? We're the dreamers and we're the the idealists. Is my crazy idea just something that you don't think you'll ever see? Or can you get behind an idea like that? Can you get behind the idea that someday somebody will say, hey, I'm here for you? And, these things that divide us, they're small compared to the big items. So with that said, that's politics. So politics are over now. The sad part is they'll start campaigning already for 2020, which is why I switched to just watching DVR'd content and stuff that I download online, because I don't want to watch political commercials. The landscape is too full of them. We're in a constant election anymore, and it's sad. So, for those of you that are curious, I'm probably talking about this too much. And if I am, just give me feedback on the road again at ptrradio.com. I'm going to give you a short update about the family outreach, as I want to call it. So the family in Missouri that I started to connect to is not doing very well. There are some questions about whether they'll make it to Thanksgiving. My wife asked me the other day, did I regret or was I happy that I reached out to them? And I guess that's a question that I'll really be able to answer, when and if they pass. I can give a little bit of an answer now that, at least I can say that I gave it a shot and I did my best. Maybe I did it a little later than I should have, but at least I came to terms with it and I did it. At least I reached out and I took the initiative, and I'm trying now. However little time I have left to, have a little bit of reconnection, at least I'm taking advantage of that. So, if they don't make it, then they don't make it. If they do, then great, I have more time. But I'll be thankful for the time that I had. I'm going down to see them again on Monday, which, by the way, we're going to have a delayed show. We won't have a show on Monday, the 12th, like we were going to have because of this. I'm going to head down there and see them and see how they're doing. See what the situation is really like, because you can't really gauge things from text messages. And then we'll record either on Tuesday or Thursday. I'm leaving town for Thanksgiving. I think we already mentioned that a little bit. I have, all those plans are already in place, and I can't really change them. And if something happens while I'm away, then it happens. I can't do anything about that. I can't change that. Nothing can change. My wife and I had the same situation when we went to Disney a couple years ago. Her mom wasn't doing very well, and we were concerned about going to Disney while her mom wasn't wasn't doing well and was at home. Should we be going out to vacation so far away when doctors have told us that she has little time left? And we went because we had tickets bought and everything, and there was going to be no refunds. And, lo and behold, it worked out well. We had plenty of time. But, had it not worked out, we would have dealt with it then. But everything did work out. So I'm hoping that our luck holds true, and that, once again, I get my lucky stars shine down on me, and, I can have a vacation that I enjoy, and then if I have to come back and deal with that stuff, then that's what happens. My aunt asked me if something happens, did I want anything from them? Or did I want her to ask them if I could have anything? And I told her, I'm like, listen, I didn't reconnect so that I could get stuff. That was not my goal. My goal was for my soul, my heart, whatever you want to call it, just to not have any regrets. However, one of the first trips that we went down there, we were talking about Christmas decorations, I think. And I had told them that I remembered these framed Christmas trees that my grandmother used to make. They were these 2 foot by 18 inches wide frames, and she used to take ribbon and make the outline of an evergreen tree, and then inside she would decorate the tree with lights coming from the back, and then the ornaments were old jewelry. Okay, they were jewelry where she had cut off the back of earrings or whatever, breaking apart bracelets, things like that, and that was the ornaments on the tree. And I never thought I'd see one again. Turns out that my grandpa actually kept one. Him and his new wife actually had one there at their house, and she asked me if I wanted to see it, and it just brought back this huge flood of memories when she brought it out. That that was my grandma. It's the little things that make you remember somebody. It's the really little things, like a broken jewelry Christmas tree. And so I told my aunt, I'm like, listen, this might sound weird, but if they are open to it and if it doesn't cause a problem, the only thing that I would like Grandma's Christmas tree. That little ornament Christmas tree light up. That's the only thing I want. They've got money. They've got stuff. I don't want that. I want the thing that I remember. The thing that normal other people would throw away. I want that. I don't want anything else. So we'll see what happens. If and when that day comes, then maybe I'll get that, and if I do, I'll shoot a picture for you guys so that you can see what I'm talking about, and we'll go from there. So it's like the only thing, because really what I got when my grandmother passed away was I got a shotgun that she taught me how to shoot with, and I got some home interiors. Some wolves and some beagles and some stuff like that are mostly at my mom and dad's house. So the handcrafted stuff that she actually made means a lot to me, because it wasn't something that she could just go out and buy. I have a blanket, an Afghan that she made, a crocheted blanket that I actually stole from my dad, and that means a lot to me. So when people ask me what they can get me, it's really difficult, because I don't want things I can buy from a store or things I can get online. Those things don't hold a lot of value to me. I mean, because they're just things. There's no memory attached to them. There's no personality there. But I can tell you what there is personality in. The teddy bear I was given when I was 1 by my great-grandfather, okay? Where its music box that was in the back was ripped out and it was missing an eye. That's sitting in my office today. The die-cast metal tractors that my grandpa gave me, I still have them. Okay? All kinds of the Boy Scout handbooks that my mom brought back from my other grandfather's house, because he was into scouting. Those mean something, because it's something that we shared. So it's those things that, granted, when I pass away, somebody's probably going to look at those and go, they don't mean anything to me. They won't mean anything to my daughter. They mean a lot to me. Okay? She'll probably look at stuff, though, that she's given me, and she'll keep it. So the Scooby-Doo blanket that she made me for Christmas one year, I still use it. Okay? And hopefully, if I'm gone, it's one of the things she keeps. Those are the things that I think are important, even if for only one generation. The things that matter. The things that make you remember a person are what's important. Money, real estate, cars, bits and baubles of jewelry. No, I don't care about those. And maybe some of those things hold a special attention for you with your relationship with other people. Maybe you worked on a car with a grandparent or with a parent, and that's why it's important. I can see that. I can understand that. I didn't. Maybe maybe your grandma always wore the same pair of earrings, and so it's important. Or maybe her wedding ring is really important to you. Okay? I can understand those things. But run-of-the-mill everyday items, when somebody says, what do you want? Give me something that made you think of our relationship, what I mean to you, what you mean to me. There's a collage my daughter made me one year, hangs on my wall. It's one of my most prized things because it's just pictures of her and me. Those things are what matter in life. And I probably say this same diatribe over and over and over again, but everything else comes and goes. So my trip is just about over. I'm getting ready to pull in. Don't forget, like, share, comment, suggest other topics. I'm more than happy to talk about whatever you want on this segment. So on the road again at PTR Radio. Don't forget, we'll be delaying our show probably by at least one day next week. Other than, I'll see you next time when I'm on the road.